everyone, welcome back. I hope you're doing wonderful. This week is going to be a paint with me for the last prompt of Peachtober, which is spooky. When I think of spooky, I just think of spooky season as a whole, and when I think of Halloween or Hallows Eve, I immediately think of witches and witchcraft, and what better way to paint that than the goddess of witches and witchcraft herself, Hecate. So yeah, that's what I'm going to paint this week, and I'm so excited. I absolutely love Greek mythology, and one of my goals this Peachtober was to at least do one painting surrounding Greek mythology in some way or another, so I'm glad that I got around to it. But before we move on, I just wanted to acknowledge that I know that people do worship the goddess Hecate, so I wanted this painting to be somewhat of an homage to her, and I will be talking about some of my research that I ended up involving into my art piece. So if I say anything that is incorrect, please let me know. And also, if you have any information about Hecate and want to share, feel free to put any information that you think is cool. So yeah, let's just jump into this. If you guys watch any of my previous videos, you probably know by now that I design all of my stuff on Procreate before doing anything with the actual painting. So I thought that I would add like a time lapse of that process in while I'm talking to you guys. Alright, so like I said, I did a lot of research on Hecate before doing this art piece. First thing I have to say though is that she has a very long and convoluted history and lore, and her understanding has been changed and evolved throughout time. So Hecate is a Greek goddess. She is also a chthonic goddess of the underworld, along with being the goddess of boundaries in regards to being a protector of the gates of the underworld. So some of the iconography that symbolizes Hecate in Greek mythology is the torch and a key. The torch kind of represented Hecate as being a night deity and also lighting the way as she escorts people and spirits to and from the underworld, and the key represents that she is a protector of the gates of the underworld. I decided to include both of these symbols in my painting. The two girls on the side are holding lights, and those are supposed to represent the torches, and then the main girl in the middle is holding the key. Hecate was also generally represented as a three-formed goddess, although in her original images she was a single-form goddess. I think this is because Hecate was confused and combined with other deities and goddesses throughout history. I'm not going to go too far into this just because I just want to quickly talk about what I did to include in my painting, but I did decide to represent her as a three-formed goddess. I did look at older artworks of Hecate to kind of see how she was like physically represented, to gain kind of an inspiration and see how to like paint her. Here are a few images that I kind of took inspiration from. I find these really interesting, and also it wasn't until the medieval period that Hecate was pretty much consistently represented with witchcraft and the moon, which is why I ended up putting moons in my painting as well. So I guess I didn't choose a specific time period to represent Hecate, rather than just picking symbolism throughout time and kind of meshing it together. I really love how the design turned out. You guys have to let me know as well if you guys like it. But yeah, let's get into the painting process. Alright, let's talk about the painting, because this process was nothing that I've done before. Although I've ran into a lot of issues, I kind of had to just accept it and move forward because I was kind of on a time limit since it is for Peachtober. I was trying really hard not to care too much and just move forward. So the first thing that I had to address is that this painting is symmetrical, and that is a whole endeavor in of itself. In my head, I knew that it was going to cause some issues, but I didn't think it was going to be that hard. I mean, it really wasn't, but there was more elements to it that I really didn't expect. Let's just say I definitely had to pull out the ruler for this one. So first things first, I designed it in Procreate per usual. The only difference here is since it was supposed to be completely symmetrical, what I did was drew half of the front facing face and then just copied it and flipped it horizontal and gave her a second half of her face, so it's completely even. Same with the woman on the left and right. I just drew one face and then copied and pasted it over to the second. That aside, once you sketch onto your watercolor paper and you start doing layers of paint, you can't really see your drawing anymore. It's more of just like a guideline. So in this case, I had to put my tracing paper back onto my painting and redraw the sketch. Normally, I don't really care if the painting ends up a little bit different than the initial sketch, but since this one was pretty much supposed to be perfect and it would be very noticeable if it wasn't, I had to make sure that I was following the sketch to a T. I tried a new technique for her outfit. I was kind of struggling with her outfit a lot. I don't have very much experience in doing clothing. That is something that I definitely want to focus on after Peachtober. To get off topic, I really am interested in like circus clothing. Not only just circus, but like circus in like the 1800s and doing like a lot of corsets and frills and dresses, like full-on dresses and top hats with stripes. So you might see me painting a lot of circus clothing coming up here, but you know, we'll see. Back to the painting. I tried a new technique for clothing. I don't know if I really like it. This is one of the things that I was talking about before. I kind of just had to learn to let go. In any of my past paintings, something this large, I probably would have done multiple studies, meaning that I would have done multiple small paintings that would help me understand how to approach this painting. That's just how it was. I was kind of on a time limit and I really wanted to push myself to just let go and just go with the flow. Back to the outfit. My idea was to make it seem like it was smoky or part of the clouds. So it is a new technique. I tried to do washes for this outfit, which just means that I mixed the gouache with a lot of water, like almost like watercolor consistency, which was interesting. It's the first time I've ever really done washes that wasn't just like a background, like it's one of the main pieces. I don't know if I like that for my style. I really do just like flat matte layers. That is like something that I've been really interested in lately, and I just love the look of it. For example, let's just give this background a moment to shine. I think I've gotten really good at mixing a very good consistency of gouache. The layers in the background look so good. Once it was dried, it kind of looked like a blackboard or chalk or something, and for some reason that feels so satisfying to me. I don't know. Do you guys like that look as well, or is it just me? Overall, this painting was very enjoyable to do. It's probably one of my favorite Peachtober pieces that I did this year. I guess that I will talk about what I've learned this Peachtober since this is the end. I think that I've gotten super comfortable with what style I want to do with my painting, and I improved a ton in just a month. I don't know if I particularly improved my skills a bunch, but I did improve on how I approached the painting, which was my initial goal. I wanted to be able to be comfortable in my style and be comfortable in the designs that I choose and my creativity and trust myself, and I think that I've really gotten to that point during this challenge, and I'm super excited to see what I do going forward. I am a little bit nervous that I will lose this mentality because I don't know about you guys, but I definitely need a break from art, at least for a little bit, but I'm gonna try really hard to keep this going forward. I really enjoyed my time doing Peachtober. I loved all the artists that I ended up meeting. I feel so grateful to be able to paint and do art alongside these creative and talented and wonderfully kind artists that I've met along the way. If you're an artist and have joined an October challenge, please let me know how you feel after this whole thing and what your favorite part was about doing the challenge. this is probably the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. You guys should also let me know if you like this style of video. Like, do you like the information in my research that I've done prior to actually painting a piece? This is something I regularly do, so I'm very intrigued if you like this stuff. If not, maybe I won't include it next time, but maybe I still will. Who knows? But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the support and have a wonderful day. Bye!